Good afternoon, everyone. I'm here on this beautiful day. It is nice out. Although, did you see the weather report? Last I looked, it was supposed to rain like the rest of the week. Have you looked at it?
I did see that.
Is it still saying it?
I think so. Yeah.
I guess that's good. It keeps everything green. It's good.
Rain is good.
For April showers, or in this case, May showers bring June flowers? I don't know.
Hopefully.
Right?
Because sunflowers need some help.
Right.
Need some rain.
Everything's a little behind this
A little
year.
slow.
Welcome to New England.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm here with Brenda Chiaradonna. I just had lessons on how to say this name. Chiaradonna. And House of Gray and White.
That's right.
Is your business name.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about some really fun things. But before we start, I want Brenda, I would love it if you would introduce yourself to everyone. Who are you? Where are you from?
So Brenda Chiaradonna, born and raised in Massachusetts. I call myself a city girl, even though I live in Upton. That's where my business is based.
That is not a city.
That is not a city, but I grew up in a city, and I lived in Boston for 15 years, all over different areas of Boston. So that's my roots, kind of.
Okay.
You know, I am a city girl.
Yeah, I'm a country girl.
But you're a country girl. But I love living in the country now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How long have you lived in Upton?
A year and a half.
That's it?
That's it. Just a year and a half.
And you were in Boston before that?
No.
Okay.
We were in East Bridgewater before that.
Okay.
But before East Bridgewater, I was all city.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Did you grow up in Boston too, or a different city?
In Quincy.
Okay.
Which is the city, and it's right near Boston.
Right. I call it Boston. So
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's me. That's where I'm from, and my business name is House of Gray and White.
Mm-hmm.
And I just started last year.
Okay.
And it's been exciting and a learning experience. And big whirlwind.
Right.
You know? So yeah.
Awesome. If you guys were ever at Root and Sprout, Brenda is the one that designed all of that wonderfulness.
Yes.
So she did such an amazing job. It was
a beautiful space.
Yeah. And when I first met Brenda, it was when the space was all torn apart, and she's saying
it was just framed. I think,
right? There was like drywall in some places.
Yeah.
Like it was, and there's like lights hanging out of the ceiling. Yes. And Brenda, if I recall, you were like, "And this is going to be here, this and this," and I was like, "If you say so." Like I don't see it. It's amazing the vision that you could have right from the start.
It came together like pretty much perfectly. How we had envisioned it.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's good to see that.
Awesome. So House of Gray and White, where's the name come from?
I guess it comes from my love of gray.
Okay.
So
I hear you there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And gray, even though it's everywhere now, it is still one of the top neutrals in any room. It works any room. Interior, exterior. There's so many shades of gray that work nicely. Warms, cools, neutrals. It really comes from that. And then who doesn't love white? So
they're like my two favorite colors to use in the studio.
Yeah.
Add a little brown in there and you've got pretty much my entire
a
scene.
little naturalness, a little washed wood, and it's like perfection. So that's kind of where it comes from. I would say for the past 8 or 9 years, that's what I've been drawn to.
Yeah.
And you just put in a splash of color and it pulls it all together.
Yeah.
So that's where it comes from.
Okay. Nice. Perfect. Yeah. So tell me, you've been in business now, you said, for just over a year.
Yep.
Well, what do you do mostly?
Mostly it's living rooms, dining room, freshen up, new coat of paint.
Gotcha.
Maybe a new sofa, new coffee table, some new accessories.
I need you in my life.
It's fun. I think actually that you do need to change things up every so often. You do, you know. And of course, the new sofa isn't in the budget every, few years, but you can change out your throw pillows, your blanket throws, some vases, accessories, stuff on the walls you can change up.
Yeah.
Keep it fresh, keep it new.
I need to not have you go in my living room because you're going to be like, you still have Christmas decorations on your mantle.
You're not the only one.
Because I don't know what else to put there right now. Like, I had pictures, which, of course, I love the pictures, but I'm like, okay, I feel like I need something different. So instead of getting something different, I just keep not doing anything.
This is a tough time, too, the transition between the holidays have all ended and spring and what do I do? And even for me, this I feel like is the toughest time. What do you put on your front door this time of year?
Nothing.
Right. This is really hard. There's no holidays to kind of piggyback off of.
Yeah, so that's funny. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yeah, no, you're not the only one. I don't have anything on my front door right now.
It's on my hook there. I at least
the
Christmas star thing that was there, which was, in April that I took that down. Somebody was leaving, and I was like, maybe I should take down this Christmas decoration. Now that you've seen it already, right? Exactly. You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So, awesome. And, kitchens, people obviously kitchens is a huge thing. A really good friend of mine that I grew up with, she is a kitchen designer. She does all the cabinetry and stuff like that. So she's an amazing resource with kitchen layouts and all that stuff. She's amazing.
Right.
She's in Boxborough.
Nice. Good to know.
Great spaces in Boxborough.
Great spaces in Boxborough.
Yeah.
I'm going to remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Kitchen is on my list.
Yes. Kitchen's a big project. I mean, that is the biggest.
Yeah.
The biggest project you could do.
I'll just stick to my dining room table for now.
There you go. Yeah, which looks great.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
I dared to show Brenda my table in person. It's not done yet.
No, it looks really good.
I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. It's going to look good. Especially with the legs done. It's going to
Right? It's going to look very different with the legs done. Very different. Yeah. I'm very excited. You guys will see it when I'm done. Don't worry. I put my second to last coat of poly. I thought it was my last coat, but I made some mistakes. We're doing another coat. I'll show it to you maybe later today. Anyway, back to Brenda. Today, I really want to talk about nursery spaces, since most of you ladies are expectant mothers or new mothers or whatever. I want to focus on nursery spaces, I can't speak English, but also like how to transition it to a toddler room or beyond.
Yeah.
So I think, first of all, what's your number one tip? Like, what are your top tips for when you're preparing for your baby in their space?
Which is so overwhelming.
Right.
With everything.
Yep, you've got so many things. Brenda's a mom to two as well. She knows.
And my youngest will be 9, but you don't forget
how
much there is when they're little and things to do and remember. I would say the crib is your investment piece for sure. Because most cribs nowadays will transition into that toddler bed or kid bed.
We had one that turned into a full size bed.
Full. That's usually what they are. A full size. I have seen some that go to a toddler. I think the full size is better. More money, obviously, but you're going to get way more years out of that. So the crib for sure, definitely your investment piece. That's what you should spend the most money on. I don't think that's the time to buy anything vintage or repurpose your old childhood crib as much as you love it. Partly because of like the standards, regulations. Since it was like 2011, like there's no drop down sides and everything's made way more sturdy, heavier wood, heavier hardware, which all adds to the cost too. So yeah, I would definitely start with that. That should be probably the first thing you purchase for that room.
Okay.
Yeah. And then from there, sticking with the crib, I would then focus on the bedding.
Yeah.
The bedding, that's really fun.
There's some really cute stuff.
Yes, there is. That would probably be more of like your showcase.
Okay.
That's where I think you get like your inspiration for what you want the room to be.
Yeah.
So bedding next, because you need like fitted crib sheets. You're probably going to need
tons,
5, 6 or more.
Go through them.
Yeah. So you're going to spend, you'll spend money on on bedding too. Bumpers, there's like a mixed thing with bumpers these days. I think some states you can't have them.
Right.
Not Massachusetts though. That's just preference. You know.
Yeah, we didn't have them.
Yeah, I had them with my older son, who's now 12. Well, he'll be 12 in 2 days. Yeah.
You do not look old enough to have a 12-year-old. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, he'll be 12 on the 16th. So he had a bumper, and I didn't put it on with my younger one, who's 3 years younger. Plus today, like I feel like nowadays, like more modern minimalist is the way to go. Where a bumper and like a bed skirt and all that's kind of more of like a traditional look, if you're into that, which is still very, very pretty. It's just a different look. So the crib first, then your bedding. I would start with that, and then pull your inspiration from there.
Okay. And would you, if it's your first child, and you know you would like more children, would you go gender specific or gender neutral?
If you have money to spend,
forgetting your love of neutral color,
right? My gut feeling would say what I would initially say is gender neutral.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. You know? But let's say you're having a girl and you're only having one baby. Then you might want a girly room.
Yeah.
You know? I think that depends on each family specifically what they want to do. But a gender neutral room, you know, if it's a boy first, you maybe just throw in a little dusty blue somewhere. If it's a girl, you put in a little pale pink, you know.
Right.
But start neutral.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you need a theme?
So,
because a lot of people, like you hear, what the animal theme or Disney theme,
right?
Or, you know.
I'm not a themey person.
Me either.
Yeah. But some people are, which is also fine. I think when it comes to that, you do what you love. Okay. If you are a die-hard Disney Mickey fan,
right,
and you want that, you go with that.
Yeah.
You know, this is your time to do it. Yeah. Exactly. But as far as like a theme, most people don't do the theme anymore. You know, because if they're having multiple children, it's just a way to save money. You know. And what kids are into cars today, or when my kids, they're not into cars right now. You know, Cars the movie. So
my boys are.
It's, you know what I mean. It changes pretty quickly. Yeah. So when you do themey things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What about other things? So we have the showcase crib and bedding, and that gives us our inspiration for the rest of the room.
Right. What would you go into next?
Yeah. What do you include?
Okay. So you're going to need like a rocker or a nice comfy chair. Rocker's best because we all know we want to rock that baby to sleep.
And you're going to be spending lots of time.
And you'll spend lots of time. Well, that's the other thing actually. Yes. Comfy for that reason. And also maybe, I remember my son's nursery was really small. So I had the crib. I had changing table, which we'll move on to next, I guess. And then I had a rocker, and I always felt like I didn't have, I had no room to put anything next to it. I wish I had like a little, like bookcase or something to like put my water on or put my phone or whatever that I wanted like handy, you know?
Smart.
Or even a bookcase to have like the books in if I was reading to him, or even my own book. Yeah. If he fell asleep and I wanted to just sit there and read a book. So, yeah, like I think a rocker, a nice comfy rocker, made of like a fabric that's you can clean. Because we all know. Yeah.
You need to clean it. Yeah.
You need to clean it.
Yeah.
That might be the time that was the other phone.
Right.
That might be your time to like repurpose a chair or something.
Oh yeah.
If you're trying to like save somewhere.
Yeah.
That you can do.
Yeah.
As long as you're comfortable in it and throw a pillow on it, make it comfy for your back. It's a good way to save money right there.
Okay.
So I'd say that you got your crib, you got your bedding selected. I would move on to the chair from there. You do need a changing table. That's a must. There's different kinds of changing tables. You can do like a standalone actual changing table.
Like one in the studio.
Yeah, exactly. And it has like open space underneath it. So you could put like bins under there with baby blankets, swaddle blankets, your lotions, that kind of stuff.
Diapers,
anything that you're going to need, ointments. Store it underneath the table if you have room for a standalone like that. Because I feel like you're also going to want a dresser. So most people do, if they have don't have the room, they do just the dresser and they put the changing pad on top. And there's like a piece that it's not just the pad, but it holds the pad in place. It's like a wooden piece that sits on top of the dresser. I lost the name of it. It does have a name, but it'll come to me.
I know what you're talking about.
You know, it sits on top of the dresser.
I'll tell you.
Right. And that's a good way to save space too, because then you have your drawers for your clothes. You can put diapers in one of the drawers, and your ointments, and your baby nail clippers, and all that stuff.
We had one of those for one of our kids, but the standalone for another one.
Yeah, if you have the space for both, fantastic. You know, because who doesn't love more, places to put stuff, you know? So changing table for sure. And that I think would be all like the large things that you have in your room. You have your crib.
Bookcase, we talked about, chair.
Yeah, some kind of bookcase would be great. A chair, the changing table, whether it's your dresser or a standalone table. And then from there, once you have all your furniture, and I would actually suggest, like, trying to keep your furniture all in the same, doesn't have to be matchy-matchy.
Right. Coordinate it.
That's
my favorite thing to tell my clients.
Coordinate, don't match. Honestly, that's like, probably, I don't want to say it's a pet peeve, but that's kind of one thing that, it's like, bothers me the most, matchy-matchy. Try to coordinate instead if you can. So, so now you have all your big furniture in, and now that leaves your space open for the fun, really fun stuff, like decorating stuff, your rugs and your wall stuff, and,
Would you recommend, so if your room's carpeted, would you recommend a rug on, like a big area rug, or?
You don't need it if it's carpeted. You know, you definitely want a rug for the baby. You can put a throw rug over a carpeted rug. There's no problem with that. Layering is good. I like to layer. Okay. If you want to bring some color in, the rug is the great place to bring in some color. Right. If you found a rug that coordinates nicely with your baby bedding. Okay. That would be a great thing to have in there. A rug, no matter what. Hardwood floor, you definitely need a rug. Yeah. No question. Rugs, you can get them anywhere now. My goodness, there's so many websites that have great, amazing deals on rugs. And they're good quality rugs. Yeah. Like Rugs USA, Rugs.com, just lots to choose from.
I bought one of my rugs for the studio.
From where?
Rugs USA.
Rugs USA.
It's a Flocati rug.
Yeah, and they always have like coupon codes and stuff.
I think I got it like 70% off.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
You have to search for the coupon code. So rug for sure. Another thing I like to do is wall shelves.
Okay,
to put out of reach type of things.
Kids never get into anything. What are you talking about?
No. Oh my goodness. A friend of mine, and you just reminded me of this. She had, I don't know if it was Vaseline or some kind.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
Some kind of diaper ointment. So it was years ago. And her daughter came out of the nursery and had it. She was covered in it. I mean, it was in her hair. It was like I want to say it was Vaseline. It was just slathered, all over. And, well, it was funny to us. Right.
It's not funny in the moment.
Funny in the moment.
You're like...
Right. And it happens like that. Yeah. So, out of reach.
Really does.
Some out-of-reach space is definitely good.
Yeah.
I like open shelves. Yeah. I love an open shelf. And then you could put a bin or a basket up on an open shelf, like a nice wicker type of basket. Right. A rattan basket. I definitely don't want to forget about that. Yeah. And walls. Your walls, some beautiful photography would be nice on the walls. Right. Baby mobiles. Mobiles. Right. Yeah. Those are great too. Yeah. Because you don't want anything in the crib. Right. That's a big no-no. Yeah. So I know people like to decorate the cribs and put the stuffed animals and all that stuff in there. And sure, if the baby's not sleeping in there, but your baby will be sleeping in there. Right. So, yeah. Okay.
So, what about light fixture?
Okay, so two of my, lighting is like one of my top things, like my favorite things.
Yeah.
Lighting is so important. It really, really is. If you don't have an overhead light, some rooms don't have overhead lights. You need a lamp that gives off enough light. Mm-hmm. Hopefully your room has an overhead light. Some have fans without lights or whatever. Hopefully there's an overhead light. Make sure the wattage is definitely bright enough. You want to be able to see. Lighting is really, really important. Dim rooms are no fun. So a pretty fixture, is a nice way to update a room too if you're turning like a room that you had into a nursery by changing out the light fixture. Changes the space.
Right. This room.
It changes the space.
I had a fan.
I love that chandelier.
I love that chandelier.
You took the fan down?
We took the fan. My husband was like, really? You want to put a chandelier?
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah. It makes a huge difference.
I love it. I'm obsessed with it. You guys have to come see it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I know a lot of homes do have like fans in like the bedrooms and stuff. Like a little bit older homes. Take that down.
Yeah.
Put something nice up there. It's gonna change the room instantly.
I mean, you can even find nicer lights where you can keep your fan too. Like if you're
absolutely.
I want a fan. Just don't go with the boring.
Like your very plain pattern
1980s.
Fan. I always just worry about fans. Just I don't know.
Yeah.
In kids' rooms and stuff like that. It's just
we've like turned them off in our kids' room because they have bunk beds.
Yeah. See. Yeah. Exactly.
So we've just like pulled that switch.
Yeah.
Even when you flip the switch on the wall, it doesn't come on.
Yeah.
Because
it's deactivated. I know.
Yeah.
You never know. But like there's Home Sense that opened over in Framingham. They have a great lighting selection.
Oh, really?
They do. They have lamps. They have sconces. They have pendants. They have chandeliers. They have a great lighting selection over there.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's like home goods type prices. So you don't have to go to like a fancy lighting store.
Right.
And sometimes
lighting can be expensive.
Lighting can be very expensive. And sometimes you do want to spend the money on the lighting, but why not if you can find a deal?
Right. I got this one for $50.
You did?
Facebook. My husband found it. My husband, who was like, I don't want the chandelier, found it for me.
It's really pretty. I know they can't see it.
Right, they can't.
It's really pretty.
You have to come see me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. $50.
That's amazing.
Shocked. Yeah, she was bought the wrong, like it didn't fit where she wanted it, so she was just like,
that happens a lot.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. You scored.
Seriously. I looked for several months for it.
Yeah.
So I was patient. Patience pays off.
It does. Well, that's the other thing, too, is take your time.
Yeah.
You have 10 months.
That's
10 months,
10 months. No one says that. It's not 9 months you're pregnant. It's 10 months.
Unfortunately. Take your time, and you don't want to regret any of your purchases. Be like, oh, why did I buy that? I wanted that.
Right.
There's no rush.
Right. And in addition to the 10 months, most babies aren't in their nursery right away. Like ours were in the bassinet
for a few
in
months.
the room.
Yeah.
I think the longest anyone stayed in a room was 6 months. But I think, even my oldest was out in like 2 or 3 months. But still, much longer.
Yeah.
Not that you have a ton of time after baby comes home.
But. I know. Yeah, I know. The last thing you want to be doing is like decorating. You want it done. You definitely want it done before the baby comes home. But you can put finishing touches in there. Yeah. I had a client in recently who was in the hospital for 5 weeks before she had an emergency C-section issues with and so I just saw them this weekend, and her parents were at their house with the baby setting up the cribs and all that stuff that didn't get done because they unexpectedly it's unexpected.
So I was like, oh, I'm glad your parents are able to help.
I know.
That's so good. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
And thankfully babies don't go in the crib right away. So.
Right, so she had a little bit extra time. Yeah. But they are in that crib for a lot longer than you think once they're in there, and that's why I think that, splurging a little bit on the crib, it's worth it. Yeah. It really, really is.
Yeah.
Some kids stay in their cribs till, like, at least 3 years, My boys were out. One was out at 2 on the dot. I want to be out. I want to be a big boy bed. My other one stayed a little bit longer.
All mine were out before 18 months.
Before 18 months.
My last one, so my older
you needed
two.
the crib for
exactly.
the next one. that's why.
Exactly. Mine are a little close together.
Yeah.
But even my youngest, once we realized he could climb out, we were like, what's the point of keeping the crib in there?
Yeah.
We'll just bring down the bed in and...
Some are more determined to get out of that crib than others.
Yeah. Oh,
mosquito.
Yeah.
It's a random mosquito.
Try not to get eaten alive. Let's go back to the wall.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any tips for how to decide what and where to put anything
on the wall? Yeah.
So we talked about shelves. We talked about photographs. Mm-hmm. There's also, there's tons of stuff. In fact, I've got one here that I want to hang up. In here, I want to frame this.
Yeah, cute.
Right? Things like this. It's an alphabet.
Oh my goodness, that's so cute.
Right? It's so adorable. It was actually here for one of my kids and I never got it hung. And I'm like, well, I'm going to put it in my studio.
The alphabet kingdom.
Right? It's so adorable. There's all sorts of things.
Yeah.
How do you decide?
So, scale is the other thing. If it's a really large picture, you got to take a look at your walls. Where does it look like it would fit the best? The worst thing is having a giant piece on a small wall and vice versa. A small piece on a giant wall. So that is, it's pretty much just eyeing it and using your judgment, to be honest with you. Next to the crib, over this, let's see if the crib was here, over the crib, I wouldn't put anything there.
Yeah.
If the baby can sit up at some point, they might pull it down. I would leave that wall bare. I wouldn't put anything there. You can put something over your changing table because you're going to be there at all times. You're not leaving the baby there. You can put something over your changing table. Again, I'd have to see the size of the length of the wall.
Yeah.
Just think of scale. That's all I can say. It's just think of this, what you think would look right there as far as scale. You don't want anything too big or too small.
Right. And I think something that I run into a lot with all my clients is, this is a sample gallery wall. And, you wouldn't normally sit here this close to this picture. And, because this seems overwhelming. It's big for being this close to it. But most of the time you're across the room, when it's in your home above your couch or whatever, or above your changing table. Just remembering you're not seeing it up close. When you step away from it, how does it look on the wall as a whole?
As a whole. Exactly. A gallery wall, of course, you're going to have stuff that's lower. Right. And stuff that's way higher than you would normally hang something if it was a single piece. If it's a single piece, rule of thumb is eye level.
Right.
All rules go out the window when you're doing a gallery wall. It's really just what you feel what you feel looks right.
Yeah. FYI, if you didn't know this, for clients of mine, I also have a program where you can send me a picture. Brenda has seen this.
Yes, I have. It's pretty cool.
You tape a regular piece of paper on your wall, send a picture of it to me, and we can put your pictures on your walls in different sizes to help you. And we can put multiples up or, anything like that. Yeah,
on that size wall. Which is fantastic.
And then you don't have to guess. Is this size canvas too big? For above my couch or above my bed or wherever it is that you might want it in my hallway. What's going to look good?
So, that's a great tool.
Yeah.
If you
that's how I designed this wall.
Yeah. I believe it. If someone just had this size canvas from you and a wall this size, it's too small.
It is. It's way too small.
Yeah.
We
so
need
that's
much larger.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want much larger. That would be awesome.
Right?
Nice big picture.
Right. Someday, when I have a studio elsewhere, this will be a family room or something. I don't know what it'll be. It used to be a TV room, but we don't really watch TV. I want a picture of my family. Really large, framed canvas.
Love that.
A nice panorama.
Nice big one. Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
6 foot long.
Right?
Something like that.
Someday.
Yeah.
Someday.
That would look great.
Right?
I can see it.
All right. So we've talked about nursery.
Yes.
What to think about, what to include, how to come up with it.
I'm trying to think if I missed anything.
Right. If you guys think of anything before we end, let us know.
Let us know.
Talk about transitioning now. As your kids get older, what can you do in the room? How do you transition them?
So if you did get that crib that turns into the full-size bed, perfect.
Right.
I had one. So let's rewind a little bit.
Okay.
I did make a mistake. I did buy one of those beds, but I really wanted, I knew I was having boys. Well, at least my first one I knew was a boy.
Right.
I really wanted a whitewashed crib.
Mm.
My son really didn't want a whitewashed headboard and footboard, though.
Mm.
So I kind of, messed up a little bit myself, thinking that's what I want. That's
right.
so great as a crib,
Right?
but didn't work so great
for him. Kids have personalities. Did you know that?
They do, and they actually care. Oh,
right?
I had it. Let it go.
That's all right. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we'll be undistracted.
Right.
So
yeah, I would, if you know what you're having, or you don't, if you want to stay gender neutral, just try to think about that too. If you're buying that bed that's going to convert into the full size, would it work for a boy or a girl?
Right.
Yeah.
Do they make like actual wood cribs where you can like paint them if it wouldn't work? Like if your kids,
I think you can paint anything.
Can you?
Yeah.
I don't know these things.
I think you can. I might have a professional do it.
Yeah.
That knows how to really do it properly so that it looks like it was made that way.
Yeah.
Or if you want to take on the project yourself.
Right.
At the time, I didn't do it
All
yet.
the spindles? No, thank you.
Exactly. The other thing with the one that I bought, I loved that crib so much. It was pretty intricate, too. So even painting it still kind of had a feminine feel. Mm-hmm. It just wouldn't work. Mm-hmm. So looking back, I was like, I probably should have went with something not so curvy and, But anyhow. So turning that into a full-size bed, you have your bed right there then. Bedding, there's so many options. Party Barn Kids, tons of stuff. Serena and Lily, tons of stuff. Mm-hmm. Bedding's expensive.
Yeah.
Because you want the comforter, the quilt, and the matching sheets and all that stuff. So, so you have your bed. If you did opt for the changing pad on top of the dresser, you should already have a dresser.
Right.
So that's...
It's so funny because when I was pregnant with my first, it did occur to me that I would need a dresser for her.
Yeah.
And thankfully I had a friend that said, you need a dresser. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh.
It's kind of one of those things that... Yeah, it's one of those things I think is easily forgotten.
Yeah.
Because... You just think of the changing table.
Right.
But where are you going to put baby's clothes?
Right.
So...
They do have clothes.
They do have clothes. Yeah, little tiny. Yeah, you get lots of clothes. Clothes that they'll never wear, too.
Yeah.
They get so many things.
Right. And they grab them so quickly.
Yeah.
Just side note. I have an entire room. I'm not even exaggerating. An entire room in my basement full of children's clothes that I just need to go through and, get rid of. They're grown
hard.
up in them,
I found it hard to get rid of my boys' baby clothes.
I started to go through clothes, and the boys' clothes, I was like, okay. Like, girls'
clothes
with my one, I was like,
yeah.
And she's my first.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I really liked this
I know.
sweater.
It's tough.
Because it can fit on a baby doll now.
Right.
Like, what?
I know.
I just need to let it go. If I ever have another kid, we'll get more clothes.
Sure. I'll understand.
Right.
So,
because people give you clothes.
Oh my goodness, it's so fun.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah.
So then you have your bed. So transitioning into that older kid room.
Yeah.
You have your bed. You'll have your dresser. Kids at that point do have opinions of what they like.
Mm-hmm.
They might want that theme room at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Bookshelf. You might already have a bookshelf if that was something you could fit into your nursery, which is fantastic. Take out most of those little board books that you have for baby, and then the next level of books would make its way in there. And it's really just changing out the accessories. You might want a different throw rug, or different. We even talk about window treatments.
We didn't.
So. Very important, actually. Yes. I can't believe we forgot about this. Window treatments are so important in the nursery because they need to block out light.
Yeah.
So whether it's a curtain or like a Roman shade, blackout.
Do you have a preference for what you like? Would you combine like a shade with a curtain? Like what's your preference?
So my favorite thing, which is pricier. Did we lose him for a second?
Yeah, I don't know what just happened.
I lost you for a second. All right.
Sorry, we're still here.
We're here. My favorite thing to do is put
we're still live.
Put a shutter, like a plantation shutter, with a curtain on each side.
Okay.
Those open and close, those will block out your light, and then you
Right.
have the pretty curtain to dress it up. Or no curtain at all, just a plain plantation shutter is
I never would have thought of that.
is a nice look.
Yeah.
That's what I love at the moment. I love it.
Yeah.
Roman shades are also nice too. And
Yeah.
they make blackout fabric Roman shades. It needs to be dark at nap time.
Mm-hmm.
So window coverings really important.
Mm-hmm.
But when they transition into that older kid room, you can switch out the curtains to the new bedding. You know, it's just really all re-accessorizing that room.
Yeah.
You know, a cute little lamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are in the process of repainting. So, little tidbit, in case any of you are doing new builds, you need to prime your walls before you paint them. That didn't happen in this house, and so all of our walls peel.
Before the previous owners didn't prime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So all of the walls peel. Like, as soon as they get a nick in them, you can just peel the paint right off.
Wow.
And so every room in our house needs to be peeled.
Oh, no.
And then
what a project.
Right? So in the moment, our kids dinged up the wall in my daughter's room.
Yeah.
And so they've been peeling. So we just were like, let's just do it. We're going to peel this room. We're going to prime it. We're going to paint it. And so we've been talking about, it's like a brown right now because I'm very much like, I want different colors everywhere. My boys' room is gray. My daughter's room is brown.
Yep.
Soon it will be purple.
She wants purple.
She wants purple. I'm like, it's like a lilac, like, or violet. It's light. It's light colored. That she wants like the darkest dark, and I'm like, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Your room is very small. And not going to happen, but
dark colors,
right? Like a light purple, you might go, oh, is it white or is it purple? Is
right,
it
just like a hint of purple to it. Yeah,
purple.
Yeah. It's in the purple color family. Right. She'll be happy.
Yeah, but she has opinion. That's a good point.
How old is she?
She's 4.
Yeah,
going on 30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So they do, They have opinions, and you want to make them happy because you want them to like their room. You know, they're in there a lot. So, you know, it's a give and take. You have to pick your battles.
Yeah.
If she wants purple walls, then you give her purple walls.
Yeah. Last year or 2 ago, we got her a new bed. It's a bunk bed with her room doubles as the guest room, so it has a full or queen?
Like that comes up from the bottom?
Yeah, so like it's the L-shaped bunk, so you can get it from either side to the bottom bunk.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, we needed new bedding, and so to appease my purple girl in her brown room, I got her all sorts of purple and birds. She was very excited about that.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, it's really cute. And my aunt had made me curtains for it, her room when she was born. That have birds on them. So
so that's good. That's good.
Tied in together.
Yeah.
It was great.
Sounds awesome.
So now we'll have a purple walls to go with our purple bedding.
Yeah, the prep work.
Right.
People, that's the thing with like walls or whatever. Prep is just as important as the paint.
Don't cut corners. If not for you, for people
I know.
You.
I know. Cutting corners seems easier and faster, but it doesn't come out as nice. And it's in the long run, you're like, why didn't I do it the right way the first time?
Yeah.
I'm guilty of that myself too, you know?
Right.
I really am. I just want something done, and then I'm like, why did I do that?
Right? Like this table. I did so many things wrong. I've had to like redo them. So I'm like trying to cut.
You never know.
Yeah.
So that's why leaving that crib to a professional, if you decide to repaint it,
right?
It's worth the however much they would charge you to do it. I think it's worth it.
I think that's always the case with any area of life. Like,
if
somebody specializes in something, there's a reason they specialize.
There's a reason. Yeah.
Right?
I agree. You know, I have another friend photographer. She's the one that did my headshot for me.
Right, which is awesome. Did you see her headshot?
She's so good. She helped me out a little bit. I have had this fancy camera that I've had for a long time, and I don't know how to use it. Yeah. And I've had it for years.
It's just like using a point and shoot if you don't know how to use it.
Right, exactly.
Put it on auto.
Yeah, exactly. I'll try to do all the different settings, and I'm like, just go back to auto.
Yeah.
It's it's like I don't know what I'm doing, you know. So I need you.
Right.
I need her. You know, you do. You need the people that know what they're doing for certain things.
So. And I won't even get into that. I was going to say, newborn photography is like a whole nother.
Oh, I know, right? Oh,
yeah. Anyway,
so cute.
Awesome. Do you guys have any questions out there for Brenda?
Out there.
Right?
Listening to us.
I don't know if anyone is today. It's so beautiful. I wouldn't blame you if you weren't inside, but
that's okay.
Watch later, yeah?
Yeah, watch later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Awesome. I feel like I've learned so much and I still have so many questions. I could talk to you all day. So
it's fun stuff to talk about.
Right?
And this was just one room.
Right?
Just talking about nursery.
One room for one one specific area of life. Like,
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
For one specific time in your life.
All right. I do have one more question. So, nursery compared to the rest of the house. Like, do you want it all to coordinate well together? Do you like how I use that word?
I do like that word. Yes. Use it perfectly. For me, I like it to all coordinate. Mm-hmm. But no, it's not a necessity. Okay. You know, I think if it's your style, it will end up coordinating anyhow to the rest of the house. Mm-hmm. It probably will end up coordinating. Mm-hmm. Unless, you really want to take a left turn. And exactly. And it's like, no, this room is going to be very bold and colorful and the rest of my house isn't.
Yeah.
That can happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's no rules. There's really no rules.
Okay.
It's whatever you like. It's your own inspiration.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today. This is such a fun topic.
I have fun.
I've been very focused on doulas and lactation consultants, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And really good. There's so much information.
Oh my goodness, I know.
To know and
I wish I knew that stuff when I had my boys. I really do.
There's so much.
So much more I know now that I could have used.
Right? I say that about every area of life.
I know. I know I'm not alone when I say that. Yeah. But I was like, wow, how did I not know that?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but this is one of my first non-medical, which is so fun. And later this month, guys, we have a party planner coming out. We're going to talk about baby showers. Cool. Right?
Yeah.
So fun. And I don't remember who's in between. There's somebody else in between, I think. Maybe she's coming next week. Anyway, we have some fun stuff. We have a lot of people that have needed to reschedule. So we have somebody coming to talk about baby wearing eventually and all sorts of other things that I'm not coming up with. Lactation consultant, we had to reschedule that one because of technology.
I had to reschedule myself a couple of times. Life happens.
Right? Crazy. Yeah. I think it's busier.
Yep.
Anyway, thanks for joining us, and I will see you soon, and I will link to Brenda's. You do have a Facebook page.
I do have a Facebook page. I have a web page. It's currently under construction. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get all my photos and stuff together. Mm-hmm. That's houseofgrayandwhite.com. But for now, I am on Facebook. Okay. You can reach me through there.
Awesome. Gray with an A or an E?
Gray with an A.
Okay.
And I went back and forth with that when I started my company. And I took a poll.
Yeah.
And people liked with an A.
All right. Nice. That's what it is. I never know how to spell it. Mm-hmm. So,
well, they say with an E is the more European way.
Oh, okay.
With an A is the more American way.
Okay. All right. Good to know. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
See you guys.
Bye.
If I can find my buttons.